Welcome to Blue by 90, your Michigan football podcast. We are three dudes who talk maize and blue. I'm Kalen, joined by Nate and Jack.
Hey,
what up?
Guys, we've had a lot of news kind of since the national championship game and since our last episode. So what do you say we just kind of go through our Michigan news and then we'll jump through our regular assorted news beyond that. Sound okay?
Sounds
Great.
good.
Okay. So let's start at the top. We've had a lot of changes in just personnel. So let's start with coaching, right? Chris Partridge, out. Chris Partridge took a job at Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin, right? Our guy, you know, he's very, very fair and straightforward and following all the rules down there.
Yeah.
No, Partridge, that's a big hit for us, right? Partridge, he was a good recruiter. He's had some of our highest rated recruits, right? Like Rashawn Gary, Jabril Peppers even, he might have been involved in. He was the coach at the high school at the time, I think.
Daxton Hill.
Dax Hill.
Right, part of that.
Yeah, some of that stuff. So he was a very good recruiter. So Ole Miss is going to be, loving him. Other than him, Anthony Campanile. Who?
You gotta say it like
Either
Italian.
way.
You gotta go Campanile. You know, that's why I'm gonna be like, "Hey, Coach Campanile."
Yeah. Well, that guy, he was a good coach too, but he was only with us for a year. We thought we were gonna keep him, hold on to him, right? He was almost at Boston College, and he was almost at Rutgers, and he was like, "No, I'm not going either place. I'm going Miami Dolphins," right?
Kind of a shock.
Yeah, and we're all like, "What? Okay." But some guys, that's how it is, right? Pros come knocking, and that's where you go.
Yeah. And then even to follow up on the Partridge thing, he was up for Otis Reese. Remember him? I think he was a linebacker recruit.
Yes.
And he ended up going to the transfer portal.
Mm-hmm.
And guess where he ended up once Partridge went to Ole Miss? He went to Ole Miss.
Oh, my God.
So that was the guy we could have got if we could have kind of sealed that deal with Partridge staying with us.
Yeah, I don't know what his deal was. It sounds like he just wanted to be defensive coordinator or something.
I mean, definitely got a promotion. I'm sure a huge pay raise.
Yeah.
I feel like a guy like Partridge, like, to me, I'm like, okay, he like went somewhere else. Totally respect his decision if that's what he wants to do. Like, and if he wants to move up in the ranks, you got to think, okay, he's a high school coach, came to Michigan, became like special teams coach, and he wants to have the opportunity to like call his own plays, and totally respect that. I'm like, hey, dude, if that's what you want to do, like, go ahead and do that. The only thing for me, the loss was Otis Reese, because I was like, we could use more, big time players because we have so many guys transferring all the time.
Right.
Other than that, though, I was like, hey, this is kind of what happens when you're a big time program. You're gonna get a lot of people come in. They're gonna stay for 2 years. They're gonna say like, oh, I'm here long term for recruits. They're gonna tell recruits lies. Blah blah blah. Oh, I'm gonna stay But kids come for different reasons, right? They come for the program, the head coach name. Like that seemed to always be the thing with Urban Meyer. Nobody's like, oh man, I came to Ohio State because the defensive backs coach or something recruited me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he's a great recruit and he's got some great people. But I think the brand itself brings in people, and
That's true.
I think like winning big games will do that. So even though he left, I think we got some great guys who have experience, and they'll come in, they'll continue to get good recruits, and I think we'll be pretty much on the same track.
Yeah, well, just following up on that to segue into the guys who we did bring in, right? So Partridge's replacement is Bob Shoop, who was the DC at Mississippi State, right? Mm-hmm. Mississippi State, they just hired Mike Leach, right, as their head coach.
Yeah.
So that'll be an interesting little rivalry down there. But yeah, Bob Shoop, I mean, I don't know if anybody has his statistics up.
I know in 2018 they said he had the nation's top defense statistically.
Yeah.
In the country. So, that's good news to bring to our defense.
Yeah.
I kind of said that another note on him, not a bright spot, but he's not a great recruiter. According to 247 Sports, he was 119th in the assistant coach recruiting rankings in 2019 and was outside the top 400 in the 2020 class.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Not a good recruiter.
But we got the guy from the USF coming, though.
We do, and apparently he's a good recruiter. And another thing on Bob Shoop, they said because he has more experience, he maybe, that issue where we have with talent development, where we're bringing in those 4- and 5-star guys that aren't really panning out, he might be more suited to kind of like help develop those players and help develop that talent just because he's got a little bit more experience or more experience than Partridge.
More of a player's coach than a recruiting kind of coach. He develops players that we need that.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So it's nice that we got him.
I'm mad at
to
that.
kind of take care of that issue.
And then you kind of were talking about the replacement for Campanelli is Brian Jean Mary. He coached with Charlie Strong at USF. He also coached with Charlie Strong at Texas. So he's got ties to Southern Florida.
I think he was with him
in Texas.
At Louisville too.
He probably was as a GA or something.
Yeah, because
right?
it says he was there at Louisville. I'm not sure if it was the same time as Charlie Strong, but I'm assuming so.
Right. So, I mean, this guy's got pretty good ties to some good pipeline kind of states where we can get good recruits and good talent. And according to Charlie Strong, I mean, this is like his protege, right? This is a guy who really knows his football, knows his positions, and can help develop talent in that linebacker spot. And we need that, right? Because all we got returning, I think, is Cam McGrone.
Josh Ross. We got Josh Ross coming back, and then we've got some young guys that are that'll hopefully be able to step up as backups. But yeah, Josh Ross and Cam McGrone, Anthony Solomon, who was a big time recruit in 2019 class, so he's been on campus.
But these are all underclassmen who haven't seen as much play time.
Yeah, Michael Barrett.
So these are all guys who could really benefit from having a guy who's maybe seen some of that SEC. Even those those Big 12 rivalry games, Texas, Oklahoma, and some of that Southern Florida ball, right?
Another cool thing about Jean Marie is, do you guys know who Vance Bedford is?
No.
Former U of M coach, I guess from a '97 championship team and some other years under Lloyd Carr. Apparently, he worked with Jean Marie for 7 years. So he's a super high energy guy, high intensity guy, always running around, getting on the players, and the players love him. But he said he's a teacher first. He's in the classroom. He's teaching the guys how to watch video, teach them how to do little things right. And he said he calls him BJ. BJ is going to teach the fundamentals first, and then teach guys scheme second.
Okay.
So
good. I mean, I'm all for that, right?
Yeah.
Teaching these young guys how to improve their game at a critical position group, right? Nate, what do you think about Brian G. Mary?
I think
he's solid.
Jack pretty much touched on all the things. I think
good
high energy guy, and we've had the thing I liked about the recruiting class this year. There seemed to be a lot of freshmen playing, and so I think going forward, just getting somebody to teach these guys a couple more things. The recruiting class was 11 or something
10 nationally, yeah.
For the freshman class.
Yep.
And with that freshman class, they seem to be better than what their numbers showed on a national level. So my thought is that you just keep teaching these guys, and they're going to keep learning, and I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm with you, yeah. So I think those are good hires, because when both of those guys left, I was kind of I have no idea where to go from here. I've heard hearing names here and there, but nothing crazy, right?
Another interesting thing with their contracts that I was reading on MLive, I'm not sure how many years. Do you guys know if there are any years left in Campanelli's contract or Partridge's contract?
I don't know.
So I wasn't sure either. But what it noted on MLive is that with Shoop and Jean Marie, they have heavy buyout clauses in their agreements.
Oh.
So if either coach decides to leave Michigan prior to the end of their deal, both end on January 10th, 2022, they will owe the school 100% of their current base salary. They said previously, assistants only had to pay up to 50% of their salary if they decided to leave prior to the end of their agreement. And they said in many cases it was only 25%. But in a quote out of their contract, so the buyout shall be paid to the university in full within 30 days of the announcement of your departure.
Wow.
So, I mean, that's a big hit.
Yeah.
Which is a good
basically
incentive to stay.
They're staying there, yeah.
Right.
For the full extent of their contract.
So hopefully they're good coaches, and we'll have them for 2 years.
Yeah, 100%.
Guaranteed.
Because that's huge, too, right? Coach turnover.
Right.
So good. I mean, yeah, I'm glad to get those guys, and I look forward to seeing what they can do.
Yeah.
Moving on to some of the shifting in personnel with the players, right? Tons of guys leaving, whether it's guys graduating, going to the NFL, or transferring, right? I mean, just in a couple position groups alone, right? You're looking at starting QB, Shea Patterson, looking to go to the NFL. We've heard some kind of shifty things about how he played in the Senior Bowl, right? He threw a touchdown. He also threw a pick. DPJ looking to go to the NFL. Some people are kind of like, he doesn't really have the numbers. He was, number 1 overall in his class. Who was number 2? I think it was Jerry Jeudy.
Jerry Jeudy.
Very different career.
And there was an article that came out that said, basically kind of what we were thinking. I mean, obviously we're hoping that DPJ, goes to the NFL
Of course.
does well, but
100%.
there was an article saying, they think he may have made a mistake. Like he wasn't ready.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
I think he's definitely counting on just his physical attributes, right?
Yeah.
Because he's just a freaking
got the
nature.
size, got the athleticism.
Yeah. Some of the under-the-radar guys who turned out to be great. Josh Uche, right?
Yeah. Huge performance at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah. I kept
Really
reading
nice
articles
stock.
about him. Oh, Josh Uche, this guy looks crazy. Josh Uche just flying up the draft chart.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, man. I thought Uche was solid, but I mean, I guess he's just really fits that kind of prototype for linebackers in the NFL nowadays, right?
He was like the only guy who I thought on the team had like a shot of like
Right.
playing in the NFL. Other than that, like I'm looking at these guys, I'm like
Khalid
maybe
Hudson.
like Mike and
Khalid Hudson's another guy who's
Brinson.
leaving, trying to go to the NFL. I've heard nothing about him.
Who?
Khalid.
Yeah. I mean, going off what you said, Uche definitely, but I mean, I think our entire line that left is going to have a successful career in the NFL.
Right. John Runyon, Cesar Ruiz.
Well, like
New Bredesen.
Bredesen and Wayne, it's like go like those guys. I mean, they're
they're
graduating,
graduating
right?
anyway,
But it's
yeah.
like
Yeah, they're all
I'm
good.
still. You guys know my opinion on Caesar and DPJ.
We needed
It's
them.
Kinda, we
Yeah.
need them.
I think it would
And I
have
think-
helped them more than anything to come back.
Yeah, I think it would have helped him to come back.
Actually, I think Runyon is one of those guys where I'm like, he has improved so much. You remember like 2 years ago where
hated
we're
him.
like, get Runyon out of the game.
I did not like
Right?
it, but he's improved a lot.
And then he was played, and I was like, wow, we need this guy in the game.
Yeah.
And so now for him to have a chance to go to NFL, I'm like, hey man, you earned it. You improved
Yeah.
so much.
I think it speaks to the coaching too, right?
Yeah,
Ed Warner.
Ed
Warner
Warner. We
did
kind
great.
of knew he would kind of be that guy coming in.
He's done a great job with the line.
Yeah.
Jag, you can throw a party. Sean McCune, gone.
See ya.
Take a drink for that, yeah.
We even saw some grades come out. He was like one of the top senior tight ends or something.
He's got a really good pro football focus grade.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's
Pro
one
Football
thing
Focus.
with the Michigan team that we love using these like deep analytics, and it makes us look way better than I feel like we actually are.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because like one of those numbers is like Shea Patterson is one of the greatest QBs in all of college football if you take into account like passes thrown on targets and
drop,
eliminate
remember?
drops. Right. All of a sudden he's got like an 89% complete. Whatever.
And then you look in the bowl game and it's like 7 overthrows.
Yeah, and you're
Right.
like,
It's the inconsistency that we had
you're
to
like,
deal with
what?
all year.
These numbers mean nothing now.
Yeah.
So whatever. I'm going on a tangent. Lavert Hill, corner, trying to go to NFL.
Was he graduating or he left early?
I think that's his 4th year.
Yeah, he was graduating.
But he's talented. He'll do well in the NFL.
Yeah.
Either way, I think it was a good move for him.
Metellus trying to go to NFL.
We'll see.
I saw that clip on Instagram. Him getting burned by OSU receiver
KJ Hill.
KJ Hill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Familiar scene.
Yeah.
Actually, they're these guys like there's some really legit guys. They'll get drafted for sure.
I think
Yeah, for
honestly, I
sure.
think every one of these guys will end up on a team.
Yeah, I
Well,
wouldn't be
I don't know, man. Shea to me is like a guy where I think he like might.
He'll get a tryout.
He'll get a tryout, and then he might not make the cut or whatever, and then he'll do baseball or something.
Yeah.
But,
That's true. Yeah.
yeah.
Still in there, involved.
And then going on to the transfers, right? We only got 5 transfers.
Two, maybe three that are. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Right. I mean, well, yeah, the 2 big ones I would say are like Tariq, and he made that apparent
Yeah.
pretty early on. And then, 3 big ones. True Wilson and Mike Dwumfor. Right?
Dwumfor is my big one. Yeah.
Yeah, Dwumfor, I mean, that's big for our defensive depth. And he's transferring to Rutgers. I know he's from New Jersey.
Yeah, you were saying it's like a close to home kind of thing.
So I'm thinking maybe he, is trying to go close to home, finish up some sort of grad program. Who knows? I don't know what his NFL grades look like right now.
I thought he was a junior though, right?
I thought he was a senior.
Well, he could have graduated in 3 years.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I don't like that.
I'm just more nervous about like Big Mike and Spinellis. Like I just want like guys on our defensive and offensive lines.
Yeah.
Guys like Tariq and True. Like, dude, I love True. He's a great back. He made some great plays, but like we're solid at that position now.
Yeah. That's true.
We'll be
Yeah.
okay.
Wide receiver, we're solid at that position. No,
Yeah.
I have
I
no
agree
worries
with you.
about that.
Yeah.
And like Jordan Castleberry's like
Never saw the
never
field.
saw the field.
Honestly,
so-
yeah, never
We didn't
heard
even know
his
who
name
it
until
was.
right now,
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I thought that was weird with Spinellis and Ruiz, right? Spinellis goes like, I'm transferring. And like 12 hours later, Ruiz goes like, I'm going to the NFL. I'm
Yeah.
like, was this miscommunication? Like,
Right.
what's going on? Did you really
Because
not
you'd
want to play
assume
him?
that Spinellis would have been the starting center, other than the
Yeah.
Zach Carpenter guy, who's I guess projected to be the. I've never heard of him.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
the
know.
underclassman. I mean, who knows? I don't know. But I just thought that was very weird in and of itself. So that's all the guys leaving. Do you guys think that's like an acceptable number of guys to leave? I mean, we got a lot of guys going to NFL, graduating, and then 5 guys transferring.
I mean, honestly, I know we've kind of had this conversation. As far as like transferring, because it's only 1 or 2 guys in my mind that would actually, I mean, counting Tariq, 3 guys that would actually probably get a decent amount of playing time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's that concerning. As far as like guys going to the draft, I do think DPJ should have stayed. I do think Ruiz should have stayed. But it's also great to see all these. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are able to have that opportunity to go to the NFL, which says something good about Michigan and that class that came in. I don't know. I'm not too concerned about the transfers.
Yeah. All the transfers to me pretty much show like these are guys that are like, okay, I want a shot at the NFL. I'm not going to play in Michigan. You know, and this is kind of what I told you. It's like a lot of these guys, they come into like Michigan. It's like, okay, this is my opportunity. I'm going to do this, then I'm going to go to the NFL. And then they have that realization like, crap, not everybody makes it to the NFL. And now in their last like year or two, they're trying to scramble to like find somewhere to like get a ton of tape, be the main guy there. And so this is what happens. This is just kind of the nature of like college sports that we live in. And I think all these guys are honestly probably doing the best thing for them. Like even Big Mike, like, I mean, I think it's sad to see him go. But you know, we got guys who are he's probably not going to start, and you know, Tariq. I mean, he's pretty much seen nothing this entire time. So I think all those guys are making a smart decision, especially True.
Yeah,
you know?
I just when I see like Tariq Black transfer, to me that rounds up the entire picture of the 2017 draft class, right? Because that class has had like. I think something crazy like 70% of that class has transferred. And because, I mean, you're thinking guys like Tariq and DPJ, who are, of course, in that class.
Brandon Peters.
But let me see if I can pull it up here. Other guys.
And even like a Tariq, like for Tariq, I mean, it was kind of shocking, but it kind of wasn't because he didn't get much playing time last year.
He didn't get much playing time.
Right?
And we
those
kind
young
of
guys showed a lot of like.
We saw the writing on the wall.
upside. Yeah.
Aubrey Solomon
yeah.
was in
Yeah,
that
was a
same
big
class.
That's a
Right?
big one.
Cesar Ruiz, same class. Luigi Villain, same class. Guy who didn't pan out entirely.
But
Luigi,
he's in the
he's still
2D.
there.
He's in the
He's
2D.
still there.
Yeah.
But so he's got a chance.
Yeah, he'll play next year.
Drew Singleton, another guy in that same class, transferred to the Scarlet Knights.
Jordan Anthony, did he transfer?
No,
Or is
he's
he still here?
He's there.
Dude, I hope Luigi comes out next year, man.
Oh,
Just like,
no.
dude, he's the scariest dude on the field,
He's
man.
gonna play.
He's got the
gonna
best
play,
name
dude.
ever.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
ready. Ollie Martin, same class.
Yeah, liked
Right.
him.
Let's keep going down the list. James Hudson, transferred
Yeah,
to Cincinnati.
transfer.
Duron Irving Bay, transferred to Central, or had some sort of issue and had to go. Jalen Kelly Powell. I mean, the list goes on and on of these guys in that same class.
Who
So
are
I'm
highly
like,
touted recruits.
what's up with that class? There's some
Maybe they didn't pan out. I mean,
issue there.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that, but whatever. We can move on.
I think you probably get like people going like it's horrible, blah blah. Then you get people going like
Yeah.
it's something with the class. You know, I have no idea.
No idea.
Yeah, no, you never
I have no
know.
idea.
We're on the outside looking.
We gotta
in.
get our mini microphone in there. Hide it under Harbaugh's desk. See what's going on.
Yeah, see if he's got one of those Amazon Alexas or something. Right?
Yeah, he's hacked into Alexa.
Ask his FBI agent. Okay, so we'll move on into the recruiting, right? Guys coming in, right? Chris Evans is back.
Chris Evans back.
That's
yeah.
huge.
Dude,
That gives us depth at running back. I think that gives us depth at wide receiver, too.
Little slot receiver.
Yeah.
we have 4 running backs next year. Are you kidding me? What the hell? Dude, Haskins showed up this year, especially towards the end, man. I was so impressed by him. and Charbonnet, like, he was my guy. Like, I was like, this is the dude.
Yeah,
this is the dude, like, coming in. And then Blake Corum, dude, I am so high on Blake Corum. It's like, oh my God, this guy is legit. Our running backs are going to be sick next year. Anybody who's in there, I'm like, dude, let's go. Like, the offense is going to be explosive next year. And people, this is the thing. People go like, oh, you know, the expectations are super high this year. And I'm thinking like, I don't know, man. Like, this season was like, you know, and then Shea's going to be gone. Yeah. You know, like, we actually can maybe see who wins the spot. Whoever wins, that's going to be so competitive. I just love that, like, this offseason, it's like those two guys, Dylan and Joe, are going to be competing, and they're just going to get better and better, and whoever gets that spot is going to be balling, dude.
Dude, you've just fired me up so much. We're just going to drive down the street to Schembeckler Hall and drop you off in front of the team. Let you fire them up, dude.
And I think another thing we know for sure is no matter who the QB is, we're going to be better off than we were last year.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
You talk about Blake Corum. I was reading this interview with him, and he says, before I committed, I looked at running backs that were previously there and stuff. And they've had some guys, but not like a big-time guy. I definitely want to try to leave my legacy and be the best running back to ever come to Michigan. That's my goal.
He's legit.
Yeah.
He is legit, dude. I was watching the Under Armour All-American Bowl.
He was crushing it.
He was crushing it. He had a guy, I was like, Mom! My mom was watching it with me.
Mom, meatloaf.
We were watching this, and it's like, whoa, dude. Like, he was going to get tackled, and I was like, oh my God, he just got tackled. Yeah. Nope. Just whoop, just a little cut under the guy, 10 yards. I was like, oh my God.
He's perfect for Gaddis.
He's like Mike Hart and like Tavon Austin put together, and he's going to be legit. Those are two like obscure guys.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking
that's
of.
huge.
I'm hyped for it.
Yeah, those are like weird opposites, but also I see where you're going.
They're like, he's like a little bunny, and he's just like jacked, right? And he's just like jumping around the field. Dude, he's legit. Dude, Blake Corum it's going to be a 1-2 punch, and you're going to be third down. Okay, get Chris Evans in. You know, you have no idea what these running backs are going to do because you have guys who can run and catch the ball. Like,
do we know what year is it? Haskins was a sophomore last year, right? Redshirt freshman.
Yep.
So we've got technically all these guys stay 4 years, which I don't expect them to. Maybe they will. Actually, looking at it,
who knows?
We've got four solid, like you were saying, 4 solid running backs we can count on: Corum, Evans, Haskins, and Charbonnet.
That's legit.
Legitimately for the next 2 years, right? Like,
well, Evans will be gone. But
think about
we got Charbonnet and Corum.
And
probably Haskins.
Think about this. Charbonnet and Haskins both averaged for nearly 5 yards per carry last season.
How insane is that?
They combined for just 28 yards of negative play all season. That's pretty good. So, I mean, as much as we can go like, you know, Haskins, you missed the hole in the Ohio State game. I'm kind of like,
you can't. Yeah.
Overall, the numbers are hard to argue with, right?
Yeah.
Jack, I heard
that.
I know. But yeah, let's look at some of the 2020 class top recruits. I mean, they got like McGregor, they got Corum, like you're saying. What's that last guy's name?
Selden?
Oh, yeah. Andre Selden.
Who shot up the recruiting
Flew
rankings.
up the charts.
Real quick.
That clip of him guarding... Who's that guy who was guarding
like
Texas?
6'7"
or something?
Dude.
Oh, my goodness.
And the big thing, too, is McGregor and Corum are already enrolled. They're already enrolled in classes.
Yeah.
Selden is already enrolled in classes. So that means they're on campus right now.
They're legit. Dude, this is what I'm
Makari
talking
Page is on campus. Zach Zinter, O-lineman. I mean, a lot of our top recruits are on campus. I mean, some of them aren't. AJ Henning isn't on yet. Khalil Mullings, Junior Morant, Darian Green Warren, who we got during, I think, the Army All-American game.
Oh, yeah.
And we've got a lot of good recruits
coming that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like, okay, yeah, they're not like... Oops. Sorry, guys, my phone dropped. They're not like top 5 recruiting class, but they definitely, like, the guys last year, these freshmen who just played, they were way above what I thought that they were going to be.
Right.
They're really good. And I feel like this is going to be the same type of class. Underrated, kind of quiet, and they come out there and it's like, whoa, crap.
Right. Now, just in relation to Ohio State's class, us being second in the Big Ten, Ohio State number 1 in the Big Ten, I know we all say, like, stars don't matter, composite scores don't matter, blah, blah, blah. You know, look at Ronnie Bell. He was a 2-star or whatever. So Michigan's composite score is 257.74. Ohio State's is 295.08. That's a pretty good difference, right?
Do we know what those numbers mean?
You know, if you asked me to explain it, I couldn't explain it to you.
I feel like something's different though. Like something different is this year compared to like this past season compared to this year. There's guys I just was like, we can't compete with Ohio State. This year, I'm like, we can compete. Like, we got guys on our defense that are like Dax Hill, Cam McGrone. Like,
I mean, Vincent Gray is a young DB. That I think is going to
he
kill
did a great job. Like,
I don't know. I did not feel like we could stop the run this year at all.
Oh, no.
But I'm saying, give us another year, man. Give us another year.
See, now you're buying into the hype. What happened?
Dude,
what happened to the day I know?
No, dude, it's the opposite way. Everybody's going like, you know, they're never going to get it done. They start complaining and bitching. Like, dude, this year is different. If they're going to have one loss, maybe this year, they're going to be legit. And the quarterback, if he can throw a deep ball, dear God, this team is going to be different.
So to go back on that, I was listening to the In the Trenches podcast, and you know, obviously the same conversations we have, they were having, and it was John Jansen was saying, you know, people were talking about McCaffrey can't throw the ball. I was at a practice, I think it was a Citrus Bowl practice. He said he can make every throw on the field.
Hey, that changes the
I mean,
conversation.
we know he can run.
Right?
We know he's solid and he's composed in the pocket, and he can make, you know, I think it goes back to 2018 against Notre Dame when he went in. He looked more comfortable than Shea did.
Yeah.
By a mile.
100%.
And if he can throw a deep ball,
We got Nico coming back.
He better wear number
Dude,
one.
Nico's coming back.
That's huge.
Ronnie Bell's coming back.
Yeah.
We got 4 stud running backs.
Yeah. Our offense is going to be good. Our defense, I think, with the D-line, Carlo Kemp coming back is huge. And then we just got to see the development of Mozzie Smith and Chris Hinton.
Right.
Yeah.
In terms of the talent that we have on the team and the talent that we're bringing in, we're kind of put in same line, slightly better than Penn State, just in terms of the rankings and their numbers and all that stuff, right? Does that seem to gel with you guys? Do you think that's fairly accurate?
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Feel
They got
comfortable?
KJ Hamler is gone in the NFL.
Thank God.
We don't have to deal with that. If that dude was not on the field this past season, they would have won the game. And we're playing at home this year against the 2 teams we lost to, and the 2 teams that always, it's like, you know, Wisconsin, Penn State. Those are the 2 the better teams in the league.
Yeah.
And we have the chance to play them at home.
Mm-hmm.
The only one is Ohio State on the road.
Well, I think we got Minnesota on the road, too.
Oh, yeah. That's
You played
tough.
Minnesota?
Yeah.
Dude, Minnesota, no. No. I can't buy it yet.
Didn't they beat Auburn? They
did, but I can't buy it yet.
I don't know, man.
Dude, this team is legit.
But, yes, I mean, I'll give props to Shea in the second half. But if Shea wasn't the quarterback in the first half, we would have won that game. Even with Hamler on the field.
True.
I mean, he was a liability in the first half.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. But yeah, overall, that's kind of the 2020 class. We got some pretty good-looking guys who are moving up the charts, and you know.
And you guys talk about D-line. No, we don't know about the run. Dude, this McGregor guy is legit. He could come in and start. It's like him and Aiden and Carlo. Like, dude.
Well, that's what.
Another year. I'm sorry, I'm getting way too
He's from
overhyped.
Port Huron, Michigan, too.
Well, we got to see how his injury recovers too.
Oh, that's true.
Tore his ACL.
He's injured or something. Yeah.
He'll be back.
So.
I mean, I
we
think so.
We got some good guys, right? Zach Center, Nikai Hill-Green, AJ Henning. So.
Yeah. Big wide receiver recruit.
Kalel Mullings. So we got guys coming in who, you know, they can do some damage. But let's look even further ahead, right? Because those guys are already coming in. I think, would you say, National Letter of Intent Day is on Wednesday, and that's the final one for 2020 class.
Yeah.
So let's look at 2021 class, right? Overall,
J.J. McCarthy.
it's not, in terms of who we have already, we only got 2 guys.
Yeah,
but
national
the 2
ranked 25.
guys that we got, let's go.
Yeah.
J.J. McCarthy and Giovanni El Hadi. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Okay.
4-star lineman.
Hey, that's good, man.
Dude,
I'll take
I'll
it.
take it.
And JJ and Gio have been doing recruiting work. They've been out here talking to all these guys. I mean, you look at some of these prospects that are on our radar. Let's go. We got some 5-star guys really seriously
and that's,
thinking.
like, we've got, I think we got a couple crystal balls on some Michigan guys. I know that Donovan Edwards, He's got a good amount of crystal balls heading to us. He's a running back out of West Bloomfield.
Number 2 running back.
Running back in the class.
Yeah.
Got some O-linemen. Can't remember who.
Garrett Dellinger.
And I think there's an O-lineman that they're recruiting him as a D-lineman.
Oh. Okay.
Which might be enticing to him.
Yeah. Armitage. The list goes on with this class of guys who are really seriously considering it. And if we can come over that hump and get them to actually commit, this class could be a huge difference maker.
The biggest thing too is J.J. McCarthy. We have our best recruit we're going to get in that class already signed, doing a lot of the recruiting for us.
Yeah.
I follow him on Instagram, and he's always putting stuff up like, follow this guy, go like this guy, comment Michigan on this guy, like. He's doing such a great job recruiting, especially for a quarterback, the leader of the team by default, right? Yeah. That is doing all of that on top of the coaches doing it. I think 2021 is going to be a big, big, big class for us.
Think about it, too, because when he comes in, I know we got McNamara, but there's going to be a quarterback battle then again because either Joe or, within 2 years when he gets there, right? Those are guys who we're looking at for next year, they're going to be gone. Right, so
Milton might stay,
but who knows? But I'm pretty hyped.
And another thing on that too is something Michael Spath, I believe, came out with something. There's rumors that Harbaugh might sign his extension within the next coming weeks, which is really good for the 2021 class because a lot of these guys might be kind of
on the fence about that.
Because they're like, all right, is Harbaugh going to be there or not? Like, I don't know. Yeah. But if he signs that, that'll help that too, and we'll just continue to grow.
If these guys, if we can win all of our games up until the Ohio State game, it will show like, look, dude, last year was a little bit of a down year. The program is still really legit.
Yeah.
Guys will sign, right? And then you just have to win that final game of the year within maybe 2 or 3 years, and we can see the tide really start to shift.
Yeah. So I want to kind of transition while we're talking about the recruiting into this question. I was listening to the Big Podcast, I think is what it's called.
I think it's Wolverine 247 Sports.
Yeah.
Zach Shaw and Wilfong.
It's Steve Wilfong talking about just different recruiting and stuff like that. And he made a comment while he was talking about Michigan recruiting, and he said, Michigan recruiting is no longer elite. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that we are no longer recruiting elite players? Now, what he's talking about is we don't recruit to play these elite teams like Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State, LSU now, and actually win the game. What do you guys think about that?
Well, we don't. We don't have those players.
Obviously we don't get them. There's some reason behind it. I'm not sure exactly what the reason is. I know we've talked about it before, but I think there's so many different layers as far as, facilities, coaching, just
money,
playing up north, money. There's so many things there's so many factors that go into it.
Right.
And winning's a huge factor. Where they're like, oh well, Ohio State's technically like up north, but they're getting the chance. Like, yeah, well, they're winning.
Yeah.
And they're going to Big Ten championships consistently, going to the playoff. It's easier for them to be able to get that, and that's not an excuse for us. Technically, we're supposed to be able to be competing with them, but what I was reading from that, and what remember we were talking about, is you kind of said they're just like kind of on their own. Each position coach is on their own. They don't actually meet collectively.
So I was listening to James Yoder's Michigan Football Report, and he was saying that he had a source who told him that Michigan recruiting is done by the recruiting coaches just going after recruits that they've heard of, and it was up to them to figure it out. And there was no we are having a recruiting meeting. These are the guys on our list that we need, and these are the guys that we all need to work together to go for. I don't know if that's true or not. But
if it is, that's concerning.
Yeah, if it is, that's not good.
Yeah, if it is, it's not good. But take everything that you guys say with a grain of salt.
Yeah, take it with a grain of salt. Yeah. So.
But I feel like even on Wilfong's thing, that it was pretty similar.
Yeah, it's similar kind of a knock on the program a little bit. Just saying they didn't have it put together and things like that. You pulling up anything right now?
I've got something. Wilfong. Talking about Partridge and him leaving because he was such a big recruiter.
Right.
And, basically talking about Partridge, said they haven't filled the role and we'll see who they Fill it with because Michigan is one of those schools where assistant coach recruiters are incredibly important because they don't recruit in the same traditional way that almost every other program that we covered does. Will
Right.
Fung said there's not recruiting meetings, there's just a lot on assistant coaches' plates to go out in their territories or in their position rooms and find guys that they think are good enough to help Michigan win championships.
Yeah, I mean, that's concerning, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's up to a little bit of, what's the guy's name? Matt Dudek, the recruiting coordinator. I mean, that's why you're there, right?
To hold these meetings,
To
I'm assuming, right?
coordinate the recruiting effort.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll hear any follow-up on that. I wish I had ears in their office to know some more. Another concerning thing, Michigan has 0 top 100 24/7 sports players in this 2020 class. Anybody realize that?
Not until you told me.
Yeah, not. That's where I become concerned, and that's where I'm like, I know we say numbers don't matter, but obviously they matter. That's
And
why
which-
guys like LSU, Clemson, Ohio State are always at the top.
Always at the top.
Yeah.
And which is that? Is that the composite rankings or? Because I know there's 2 different rankings. But I'm looking at this now. Yeah, our highest recruit is 122 nationally.
Right, and
Braden
that's
McGregor.
Braden McGregor.
Yeah.
So yeah, something to be concerned about, and hopefully we'll see it kind of take that leap into the numbers realm of those elite teams.
And especially if
thing is-
Gaddis can prove, I mean, like how Ohio State gets these, 3 of their top receivers in the top 30 nationally or
Are
something.
in the top 10.
So it's something where if Gaddis can prove this system and where it's something where receivers can get their numbers up, quarterbacks can get their numbers up, then it's easier to recruit those guys. Be like, hey, get your numbers up, prove that to the NFL, get paid.
Right.
Right? That's their goal.
Yep.
So if Gaddis can put together a string of a couple of years where that can happen, then, or even just next year, that'll help with the 2021 class because, all right, we know we have a solid QB in McCarthy. It's going to be there while I'm there. And I know he can throw dimes and, get the ball to me. And if this offense is proven to be able to get numbers, imagine what I can do as a receiver with that kind of quarterback talent.
Right.
So I think that's we just got to see what happens this next year.
Yeah.
And that can be a huge, huge leap.
I agree with you.
I think Gaddis is kind of locked in with Harbaugh. It's like those two together. They could get rid of Don Brown or something next year, right? If something happens. But if Gaddis wants to go somewhere else as a head coach, which is what I guarantee you he wants to do.
Right, I think that's
he's got to be successful in Michigan. So I think recruits are going to be oh, we know Gaddis is actually going to be there for 3 more years. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking out of my butt, but
I hope that's the case.
Yeah. Well, let's move into some of the news items. Devin Bush said something on an ESPN show about the mentality of the Michigan team when they're playing Ohio State. And he was saying, I don't know if you guys were familiar with the story. He said something about, we can't come into the game going man, I hope they just have a bad day, right?
Right.
And it's yeah, you're 100%. If that's how we're thinking, something is definitely wrong. But
I don't know though, dude. I don't think this is it's getting over the hump, man. It's so hard. It's you're in a slump. It's a pitcher who's in a slump for such a long time and he's trying his best, and it's there. He did stuff in the past, but it's just you got to give it time, man. You got to hope for sometimes that things fall into place.
yeah.
But it's tough.
But you got to be
it's a mental block.
You got to be doing the right thing,
Right.
though, too.
Yeah.
And part of doing the right thing is you can't show up and go oh man, well,
Right.
we're playing them again, so that's a L. You got to at least show up and be this is why we play the game, right?
Yeah.
We got to show up and we got to play 100%, and
Let's go kick their asses. Yeah.
let's go. Yeah. If we're going in just okay, we're gonna lose again, then
You know what you sound a lot like?
what?
You ever heard Shea Patterson in an interview?
Oh my God,
Sorry, I had to get that.
that was just rude.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm very
man.
excited for a different one.
I get both points, right? It's
Yeah.
okay,
Give it time.
give
but
it
also,
time,
yeah.
but also, yeah, you got to come prepared, and doesn't seem to be an issue with Auburn too. So
Right, exactly. And Desmond Howard kind of said in a similar vein. He was more talking about the talent gap, right? Which we've already kind of touched on, right? He was saying it's the the QB, the skill positions, like there's obviously some talent gap there, but it's not just one thing, right? It's not just we get a better QB and we'll win the game, right? It's a couple different things.
Yeah.
Pieces.
Where they consistently have that, where we maybe get one or two guys a recruiting class.
Right, exactly. You know what we never talked about between this and our last podcast was LSU won the national championship.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they looked pretty good doing it, too. I mean, they kind of looked unstoppable. So...
At the beginning, they looked a little sloppy.
I was going to say, not going to lie, I fell asleep, I think, in the second quarter when Clemson was up by, what was it, 16-0? Am I quoting that wrong?
That halftime, dude, it took like 4 hours to get to halftime. I was like, I got home from work late and I was just watching. I'm like, dude, it's still the first half. Like, I was so many commercials. Like, let's get that game off of a Monday. Let's put it on a Saturday prime time.
Oh, really need to.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm with you. But yeah, they won the national championship. Joe Burrow lived his kind of fairy tale season, right? So good
He's
for
a legend,
him.
man.
He is a legend. One thing that I saw after that was from 2015 to 2018, LSU had 59 touchdown passes combined. Then last year, Joe Burrow had 60.
Wow.
Like, that's the turnaround we need.
But that should be great news for us because that means,
There's hope.
that's how quick it happens.
Yeah.
Right? So we can just get the right guy with the right scheme and the right coaches, and boom, we beat Ohio State and win a national championship, right? I mean, it's obviously
They proved it.
can happen, right? Don't get your hopes up. I mean, obviously it doesn't happen every day. But yeah, there you go. I was also thinking it'd be kind of fun with the QB battle coming up, right? Obviously, you got Joe Milton, you got Dylan McCaffrey, you got even Cade McNamara if somebody's crazy.
Yeah, if 2 people get hurt.
Dan Villari if somebody's real crazy. Guys, who is your pick for starting QB? Let's make your argument.
Dude, I will say this, like, either way, I will be happy going into the season.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I like both quarterbacks a
Yes.
lot. Like, a lot. God, dude, I love Jay Millie, dude. I love Jay Millie. He's just got such a cannon. I hope that he's, like, just... I don't know, I hope that this offseason, both those guys can, like, just learn the playbook even more, feel super comfortable. They can come in and, like, just make plays happen. I feel like both of them have potential to just, like, make plays. But I do feel like, I mean, we've seen Dylan make some plays. He had a touchdown run in Wisconsin. I think, like, Joe, though, has this, like, swag. He's just got this swag, dude. Like, he can run it, he can pass it. Like, I mean, he can dance around the pocket, make something happen. I feel like that's what we've been missing. This guy who's just like, you have no idea if this is going to be like a 2-yard thing or it's a touchdown. Like, he just has that explosive ability. Like, oh, it's a 80-yard touchdown pass. Or, oh, he just ran for 20 yards on 3rd down. It was 3rd and 15. Like, I feel like he's that type of guy. I think Dylan's great too. Like, I've been on the hype train for Joe since so long. When I saw him in high school play, he was like, dude, when I saw him playing in high school, it's like making throws off of like 1 foot, like while running, and it was like 60-yard bombs. You're like, I don't know anybody who can do that. Like, he's insane, man. Like, I
agree.
I hope that he's like, he has like Vince Young type of like.
Good comparison.
He's very Vince Young-esque.
Yeah. And he worships Cam Newton.
He worships Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Dude, I hope he's like... he's the same built as Cam Newton already. He's got another year. He's like 245. He puts another 10 pounds on. Oh my gosh. Like, you kidding me? Like, dude, we saw him walking around campus. I was like, oh my God. Those are his shoulders. They're the size of my head. And I have a ginormous head. Like, I couldn't believe it, dude. He's insane. Man. Dude, and he just seems like a guy who the team could rally around, right?
Yeah,
like,
I can see that. Yeah.
So, gosh, dude, I love Dylan too, but I love Joe Millie, dude.
Yeah.
I love Jay Millie.
Hey, that's who you like, man. Jack, who you got?
I love Nate's hype.
Dude, I'm hyped for next year.
Because I'm going to agree with him, too. I'm in the fact that either way we're gonna have a good quarterback.
Right. Yeah.
I think you're right where Milton's got that swagger about him, right? Like he's got the confidence. He's got a little bit of hot sauce on top of it.
Yeah,
Like where like he can kind of feel he feels comfortable going to make a play if he needs to, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Where with McCaffrey, I think he's got that confidence too. Like he's really got he looks comfortable. He's very poised. He's got the confidence in the pocket. Knows when to tuck it and run. Knows when to throw it away. Going based off of what previously we've heard between the two guys, I think it'll be McCaffrey. Again, either way, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
But I think McCaffrey will be the guy, and I'll be happy either way.
Yeah.
If McCaffrey can make the throws that we need him to make, we know he can run. We know he's comfortable in the pocket. I'm going McCaffrey. But again, if Milton's the quarterback,
Yeah.
I will be ecstatic. Like if I see McCaffrey out there, I'll be like, all right, cool, like good.
Yeah, no.
But if I see Joe Milton, I'll be like, hell yeah, let's go. Hail Mary, first play. I want to see how far he can throw it. He's got the arm talent, right? Like that's the exciting thing. Like he's gonna. Oh, I just want to see him let it go.
He's like you guys know me when I play like NCAA. I get a quarterback who can run, and I just take him around, I run around, and I chuck up a pass.
Give me Johnny Manziel.
This is it for me, man. But Kalen, who do you got, man? Who's your quarterback this year?
Well, I mean, you both said it, right? I love both of these guys. Pretty much any time Dylan was in the game, I felt so secure with whatever was going to happen, right? I was always like, dude, Dylan's in the game? Okay, let's go. I'm ready to play.
Yeah.
Right? And then when Joe got a shot, I was like, okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Joe's got a shot now, right? So anytime either guy was in the game, I felt really good. And I think that says something, right?
Yeah. Just to cut in real quick, that's another thing too where there's a lot, like I saw from multiple articles, I can't remember where they were, but where players would talk about how Milton and McCaffrey were the two hardest working quarterbacks on the team, and they think they should have got a better shot, but Shea was just like the golden child. It was kind of hard to take it away from
I've heard some
whether
of that
those
too.
were credible or not.
Yeah.
Now it's like legit. Like, all right, like we know we're going to have one of our guys,
Yep.
right, be the quarterback next year. And I think that just puts a lot of confidence in the team for like just the players with their quarterback moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Either way will be good.
Yeah.
I'm pumped.
Well, and so, I mean, I love both guys. My knock with Dylan is he's just a little too injury prone. He gets, the pass isn't there, so he pulls out to run, and he's such a competitor that he's just like, I'm going to make this play happen. And it's like, it's not there for you, man.
He doesn't put himself in position to
You're not
be
a
safe.
260 defensive tackle or something. You're,
He's pretty lanky.
You're just a lanky guy.
Obviously, the concussion, not his fault.
That's not his
but what? He broke his collarbone twice.
Broken collarbone, concussion. He's been injured a number of times, and as the QB, you got to know a little better, right? So that's my one knock on Dylan. My knock with Joe is just his lack of finesse on the pass game, right?
Yeah.
We've seen so limited of these guys, so it's hard to say.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Joe's completion percentage in high school was 47%.
Wow.
That's pretty low.
And that's something where you and I have talked, right? Like, we're not, like, is he just throwing the ball hard?
Yeah, maybe he's throwing the ball hard.
Receivers. But that's another thing, too. You got to know when to put touch on the ball.
Yeah.
You
do have to know that kind of stuff.
Or is it an accuracy thing?
That all comes with experience, too, though, right? So it's really hard for me to pick a guy because I love both guys so much. But if I had to pick, I'm going to say my long-term pick is Joe. I want to see Joe carry this team. Who do I think is going to start? McCaffrey. And that's just based on time he's been there, right?
Yeah.
Even though they've both been under Gaddis the same amount of time.
Right.
I just think, McCaffrey has been practicing longer. Jim knows him better, all that kind of stuff.
But I'm with you where we want to see Joe, but I think either way we're very happy.
Yeah.
But I want to see moving forward more quarterbacks like Joe Milton come in.
Yes.
Right? McCarthy's kind of that guy.
Yeah.
Big arm, can run, athletic, Like, that's what we want to see.
I don't think Joe is as fast as we think he is. Because we
Like
compare him.
man. Like, he just kind of has those long strides. He's strong. Like, he can kind of just...
Well, we compare him to Cam Newton, and I don't think he's Cam
not
Newton's
that
speed.
good, no,
right?
but...
Here's the thing, though. There's a difference between being fast and being agile.
Yeah.
Oh,
And Joe is really agile.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's the thing that I like to see because, look, football's not a 40-yard dash. It's one 5-yard box, 10 yards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Joe, in the first 10 yards, shimmy, boom, gone, slides down, gets the first down, right?
And
That's
he's
what it
big
takes.
enough and strong enough. He can, stiff arm, get a couple extra yards if he needs to, right? Like, we don't need him to make those big, long runs like McCaffrey does. It's nice if he can.
Yeah. Right.
But we use these first downs to end up in
Very
touchdowns.
true, yeah. I think Joe, if he learns to get that finesse and that touch on the ball, he could be a really good quarterback.
Yeah.
Like NFL quality. Like, he might be our first guy who's a skill position on offense drafted in the top 20 if he can really solidify some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's got the body for it.
Yeah.
Do you think... I honestly feel like if Joe really comes out and balls like a Joe Burrow type of thing, he's the number 1 pick in the draft. I mean, he's got that type of, like...
If it coalesces, he's right there.
I would say, man, I hope if Dylan doesn't get it, I hope he doesn't transfer because I really like him.
Yeah.
I totally would respect his decision if he did. I would like to see him, if they didn't, be like, hey, you're going to play wide receiver for us too.
Oh,
like,
wow.
I would love to see that because I feel like he's got speed.
He's got
the athletic family.
He's got the athletic family.
His dad was a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always find it funny how Dylan is like so lanky and his brother is just
like short, just
freaking
diesel, just...
Dude, he spent like 2 years in the NFL and just became the Hulk.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh my gosh.
He's big, dude.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, the last thing I guess we'll touch on is the passing of a legend, right? Kobe Bryant passed away. I mean, that's really sad. Kobe meant a lot to me. I know he meant a lot to you guys. And I guess he will be missed, right?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we, a lot of people, older generations, they had Jordan. Like, we grew up on Kobe Bryant.
Right.
And I think we all just kind of had didn't believe it when it first came out, and ended up being a real tough day. And then you hear that his daughter was involved, and it was an awful day. I mean, obviously we got to say something.
Yeah.
Again, a legend passing, and
very unfortunate, and our condolences go out to the family.
Tragic event.
But in Michigan football land, I think that we can see a pretty good trajectory with the guys we've recruited and kind of where this program is going. I didn't even think about when you said McCaffrey receiver. Wow.
Dude,
that could be a possibility. He's a big dude.
He's a big guy.
He's fast.
I
Put some muscle on him if he's not going to be quarterback.
I like
turn into a Taysom Hill type.
I'm really...
You never know.
I know, like, the state of the program, always people want to talk about it. Like, dude, just like... It's like, let's just forget about the bickering back and forth and, like, let's just look for next year. And I think that there's a lot of promise next year. And I think the schedule works out pretty well. And I think they can make it happen, man. You just got to you put yourself in the opportunity to get to that championship game. And then last game of the year, we'll see what happens. And I think they have a real shot. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think, we will keep paying attention and we'll keep rooting for them. And
spring ball coming up.
Spring game coming up, April 18th, I think, was the date. So we'll keep you posted, I guess, right?
Yeah. I guess if any crazy news comes up, I mean, as of right now, come at you after the spring game?
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know. If something crazy happens, we'll pop up before then, but...
Yeah, keep looking out for us. Check us out on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. If you have any feedback you want to give us, feel free to shoot us an email at blueby90@gmail.com.
Leave a comment
on YouTube. Other than that, guys got anything else?
Go Blue, man.
Go Blue.
Go Blue.
R.I.P. Kobe.